Hi, welcome back to the channel. I am recording this a little bit last minute because I'm a bit stressed by it. I feel like I am going to not have a good night if I don't talk about this and just get it out of my chest. So, well, I'm here sharing it with you. Just a disclaimer that this video actually does have some content which is a little bit distressing, and it's a bit it's a bit, let's just say, if you're a sensitive person, this is not a video for you. So do not watch this if you're sensitive to domestic violence, if you're sensitive to child murder, if you're sensitive to, this is just not something that you would want to have in your image. So let's watch this video before we have the conversation. Okay, so as you can see there, there are two people fighting, two adults fighting. Then the man takes the child and just flings the child across the room. Unfortunately, the 4-month-old baby in this video did not make it. The baby died. The good news is, at least for now, the father has been the man who is the father, allegedly, has been arrested, and hopefully things will go as I pray they do, which is he will end up in jail for the rest of his life. The story, which I'm going to link to the description below, is that this person actually this is really hard. I didn't expect it to be this hard. So this person found out that the child might not be his, and so he comes home and decides he's going to teach the woman who is his wife a lesson. And so that's how the fight started. And voila, so that's what he decided to do, to teach her a lesson. And the lesson was a beating, which ended up with the baby dead. And what annoyed me, which is what has got my blood pressure boiling, I had to really, like, clock off. I just had to stop. What got me really annoyed was the fact that on social media, I mean, there are things that we can all agree. We can all agree that the sky is blue. We can all agree that the ocean is huge. We can all agree that water is wet. There are things that are just normal. We all agree in it. Can we all just agree that there is zero justification for picking up a baby and throwing a baby across the room? That is just something that we should have. I am so used to us disagreeing about everything. We are in a place where people are disagreeing about whether scientists are intelligent or not. Those people sat down, studied science, did chemistry, biology, and passed it, and but we are still calling them dumb. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time. But some things we can just agree that there is zero justification for whatever is, just taking a baby and throwing a baby across the room. There is zero justification for domestic violence. There's zero justification for coming home and starting to hit your husband or your wife. That's just ridiculous. You do not do that. Use your words. You do not go and hit a fellow adult because you're having a disagreement. Talk. Now, this person decided that he wants to do this. Yes, you've decided you want to have this fight. You want to hit this person. And, we don't know how the fight started, but the baby was already on the floor, which to me already, I'm like, why didn't he, when the child was crying, I mean, doesn't your humanity just kick in? At some point, when you hear a child crying, I understand, I'm a woman, and yes, I've carried human beings in my body, so maybe I'm a bit more sensitive. But isn't protecting children something that should be a natural instinct of an adult human? Isn't that just normal? Anyway, so this person did that, and on social media, some people, of course, they're always those people, the apologists, right? Oh, you don't know how women can get somebody angry. You can find yourself doing something that you never thought you would do. Now, let us have a conversation about this something that you never thought you would do. Okay, number one, there is no such thing as something you're incapable of. Everything you do is something you're capable of. If I am incapable of lifting a house, it doesn't matter how angry I am not going to be able to uproot a house from its foundation and lift it up like the Hulk. That's never going to happen. Anything that I do when I'm angry, when I'm adrenaline pumped, it's just something that under normal circumstances I wouldn't do, because I have inhibitions, because I'm scared of getting hurt, because it's the same way. Like if my house was on fire, somehow I would get the strength to carry my 11-year-old and my 2-year-old and jump out of the window, right? That is something that I would not do under normal circumstances, because to me, I'm thinking I'll break my legs. But then when the house is on fire, I'm not thinking about breaking my legs. I'm thinking about we need to get out. So it's just a matter of priority in thinking. There is nothing supernatural that happens that gives you this extra layer of madness that you would never have had if you would. No, it's just your inhibitions are removed. So anything you do not be giving yourself that justification that it was not something I would normally do. No, it is something you would normally do. That is you. There is no amount of anger that can get me to take a child and throw a child out of the window. That, and by the way, this has nothing to do with mental illness. If somebody is psychotic and has other issues, that's a totally different conversation. But I am just saying that under normal circumstances, there is no justification. You cannot convince me that there is anything that says that a man can actually do this. Okay? No, we are not having that conversation. Okay. So, this man does all that. There are so many things that he could have done instead. He could have come home. He could have taken a plate. He could have hit it on the wall. He could have walked out. He could have left this woman and just disappeared. He could have stood up and slut-shamed her and done everything else. I would still have made a video, but it would have been a different video. There are so many things that he could have done, but he chose not to do those. Make no mistake, he chose. That was a choice. He had a choice. And he chose not to do any of those. He chose to come home, hit the wife, and kill the baby. Now, people can say whatever they want about mothers who do not know who the father of the child is, and they lie about it. And men who are raising children, there are so many men out here raising children who are not theirs. And I mean, women can also be mean and evil, and yeah, we're human. But does that justify what this man did? And how can somebody actually just justify that? Now, if you are in a situation where you're in a domestic violence situation, I just hope that you have somebody you can talk to. It does not, and when somebody comes to you, you as the listener, just pay attention and don't judge, just help. If you can't help, then leave it. But just, there are things that we just, it's just, we should help when we can. And if we can't, then we can't. But I feel like we these are things that start when people are very young. We have created a society where there are different roles for men and women because there are different roles for boys and girls. And I'll start by saying that I see how different my son is 2 years old now. And he's getting the tantrums that they normally get at that age. They're trying to talk, they can't communicate properly, so they just throw that tantrum, right? And when he gets frustrated, he throws things, and he just, he just gets very angry, and I tell him to stop. And I don't have a problem telling him to stop because he should. And the reaction I get from people is, oh no, just leave him. He's a boy. He needs to be, they're boys. Boys do things like this. It's normal. No, it's not. He needs to learn how to control his anger. My daughter, on the other hand, when she was that age, almost the same people, anytime she had a tantrum, oh, this one is going to be trouble. Oh, she has such a temper. Oh my God. And so it's okay for a boy to have a temper because of what? I would love to know. And it's not okay for a girl to have a temper because of what? Hey, we are the ones who get PMS. We deserve those tempers. But no, we are not allowed to have tempers. And this is the kind of mentality that we are going to let these kids go into the world with. And they will go into the world knowing that as a woman, I'm supposed to shut up. As a man, I'm allowed to be angry, and I'm allowed to throw things, and I'm allowed to be mad, and my anger is what makes me a man, And that is just something that is not on. So I hope that parents learn that some of these things we need to start from when the children are young. And then we raise them knowing that, listen, boys need to show their feelings because there's nothing wrong with showing your feelings. Girls need to also express their feelings because there's nothing wrong with showing your feelings. Boys can cry, girls can cry. Boys can scream, girls can scream. Everybody needs to learn how to control their tempers. Back to the man and the child and the woman. Now, we have genders and people cheat. So women cheat, men cheat, and I don't know why, but maybe for a very long time women were very good at cheating and men just assumed that women don't cheat. And I've always wondered, what did these men think? They really seriously thought that you're cheating on your wife and she's actually just there waiting for you to cheat on her. I just find that really fascinating. I find it so fascinating that men are, they always say, oh, women of nowadays. I bet cheating did not start with any generation. It's not my generation who started cheating. I'm sure even 70-year-old women, if you talk to them, and if they are honest, they also either cheated or had friends who were cheating. It's just now people cheat and decide that it's a very good idea to take photos, and we are stupid in our cheating nowadays. But I don't understand why men think that women have only just started cheating. No, they've just started being caught. They've been cheating for many years. It's a horrible thing to do to somebody you're married to or you're in a relationship with. It's horrible to cheat, but cheating people have been there forever, right? So men, the fact that people have decided that there are two different categories of judging cheating, so it's okay when a man does it, it's not okay when a woman does it. I think that also just makes men feel justified, because this guy probably felt in his head that he's justified in hitting her, because how dare you cheat and pin a baby on me? The baby, who, by the way, a DNA test has not been done to establish that he is not the father. So, can you imagine how much worse it will be if a DNA test is done and he comes out to be the father. So he killed his own son for a reason of for absolutely no reason. I don't know what kind of DNA test he did. What did he do? The anti-DNA test? The let's check the ears and the toes? Is that what he did? Anyway, I have finished my rant. I don't know where this rant was going, but I feel so much better. So now I can go to sleep. Bye-bye.